Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 1 through 28. And Solomon had made a deal with Pharaoh and married his daughter. And they both lived in King David's house until Solomon was able to build his house and a house for the Lord. And the people were allowed to make sacrifices on high places only because the Lord's temple was not yet built. And Solomon did go up and make sacrifice and burn incense in the high places to the Lord. And one day Solomon had went up to the high place and had made 1,000 sacrifice offerings unto the Lord on the altar. And the Lord had appeared before Solomon in a dream and said, "What may I give to you?" And Solomon had said, "O Lord, you have given to your servant David, my father, your mercies. He has walked in truth and in righteousness and with an upright heart for you. You have shown him kindness and mercy all of his days, and you have allowed his son to sit upon the throne. But I am as a small child. I do not know the going on, and I do not know how to be a leader. So grant me the knowledge and understanding to be able to judge these great people that you have chosen, God. And that I may be able to judge between the good and the bad. For who is able to judge such a great number of people?" And the Lord was pleased with Solomon's speech. And God said, "Because you have asked for wisdom, and not wealth, and not long life, and not the lives of your enemies, I will not only give you wisdom, but I will give you wealth as well. And I will give you a long life, as long as you walk within my statutes and the commandments that I've given you." And Solomon had woke up and realized that it was just a dream. And he got up and he went to Jerusalem and he made sacrifices to the Lord, burnt offerings and peace offerings, and he had a feast for his servants. And then there were two women that were harlots that had came before King Solomon and said, "O king, we both had a child, and we both lived together, and there's not a man that lives with us. I had my child, and then 3 days later she had her child. During the night she had rolled over on her child, and he is dead. And then she got up and she took my child and left her child that was dead in bed with me. When I rolled over to nurse him, I realized that he was dead. But in the morning, I realized that it was not my child, but her child." And the two women began to argue over who the living child belonged to and who the dead child belonged to. And then King Solomon said, "Bring me the living child, and bring me a sword. I will cut the living child in half, and each of the woman will have half of the living child." But the woman yelled in a loud voice and said, "No, give her the child, but do not slay him." And the other woman said, "Yes, cut the living child in half, that we both may have half of the living child." And then King Solomon said, "Give her the child, for she is the mother. She has said not to slay the child, but has saved the child's life." And then all of Israel had heard about the judgment that Solomon had made, and they feared Solomon. They realized that the Lord had given wisdom to Solomon to judge all of Israel. May God be with you in everything and every way.